Fortnite has finally did it. They've given the two main camps, those who want new updates all the time and those who want to stick with the old stuff. Now it's the best of both worlds. But I feel like the way Fortnite did it, honestly, wasn't the best way they could have, despite the fact that we got two amazing islands right now to plan. Don't get me wrong, this video is not a criticism about Chapter 6, which I think is pretty cool aside from the shotguns, oh boy, and the spray meta, oh boy, and not about how Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 1 is a bit more bare bones people remembered because a lot of us didn't even play back then, including me. Now, before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe. So we get our goal of, well, 800 subs. Wait, actually, scratch what I said. This is about how Chapter 1 Season 1 is too bare bones, because I'll admit, this is not a knock on it entirely. This is just some constructive feedback that I've given as a part of the community. I'd say that Fortnite goes in this very, very primal stage at this point. I understand going OG is cool in that, and I feel like they did it insanely well. They couldn't have done it better, and the only thing they could have done better last year was to have just kept it going longer. Like maybe every month we got a new season. That actually would have been better. We had a whole 4 months of Chapter 1, and then I was kind of it. And then maybe we could have had a couple more chapters come back. Like maybe Chapter 3 could have come back. But honestly, I feel like Chapter 3 will be considered OG in a couple years. It's not quite OG yet. And when I mean OG, I just mean the first season that they might bring back. I don't know about the other ones. Now, moving on from that, right, we have the other end of the sort of scale, from bare bones and core and pure to cutting, bleeding edge, and revolutionary, which is Chapter 6. Now, Chapter 6, I will admit, is our most ambitious chapter today. Now, I know all of them are, but I feel like this one took a big departure in a few reasons. Alright? Because I understand that Chapter 5 had a whole theme going throughout the entire island that wasn't just a standard modern design for a lot of POIs. I understand that back in Chapter 5, right, we had it was all very European Mediterranean style. You know, there was mix of stuff from Italy and Greece, and I don't want to be uneducated and just start making assumptions of countries, because I don't really know much about that region. But all I'm gonna say is that it really was all had that aesthetic. But I feel like what they did a good job of was taking some ancient POIs like Restored Rios and combining it with modern ones on the same island. You guys, I don't even remember that POI that was to the west of the island, but for example, Snooty Steps, that was a really cool one because it really worked with Fortnite's aesthetic, as well as Reckless Railways. That was a really cool POI as well. We had a train station and everything. They did that good. I feel like they took it too far with Chapter 6, because now everything is with that same aesthetic. I don't know. Frankly, I do not know. Now, is this maybe my bias because I'm from a Western country and I'm not used to these kinds of aesthetics? Maybe. I'm not trying to be racist, or I'm not trying to offend anybody. I think Chapter 6 is cool. There's just one thing that I realized, is that there isn't really a balance between even Tokyo right now. You see a bunch of skyscrapers. You see skyscrapers everywhere. Now, I noticed they did that with Mega City. Mega City was cool. But the only problem I have with that is that we didn't get any buildings that were necessarily, you couldn't even go inside the buildings, really. Had they been able to go inside the buildings, I'd say it would be a chaotic mess. They could have done. I would much rather have them do something similar to Tilted Towers, where they had smaller buildings, but you could actually go inside them. Or they could have, more space inside the buildings on other levels. They could have cut out maybe every 5 floors could have been a floor or something. That maybe would have been something they could have brought here. And I feel don't get me wrong, because I know I'm looking at the map right now,